Welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and today I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. But of course, we're not looking at tea leaves. We are looking at the Prince of Wands, right? That beautiful, beautiful, fiery energy, passion, sensuality, desire, creativity, and sometimes maybe a hot temper. Sometimes maybe a little dash of that ego. But that's okay. We need that, right? I don't know. I'm not against the ego completely. I won't muse to you too much about it, but I do think that it must be there for some purpose, right? It is maybe the warden, but it might be also the warrior, the protector, gatekeeper maybe, the sphinx. I don't know. But if we read it too much, it will get out of control, no doubt. So we have that beautiful energy to start with, and I want to say thank you so much for deciding to click on this reading. I am so excited for, well, we're like fully in autumn now. Oh my goodness. I'm excited for this like Halloween-y kind of pumpkin-y and the house smells like cinnamon weather, right? I can feel my spirits rising. Okay, now let's see what we got going on in here. And I know I have to do my little spiel. If you would be so kind, would you please hit that like button if at any time during this reading you think, yes, this lady needs my help. No. No. If you feel like, yeah, I'm glad that I saw this reading. I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad that, whatever reason, that's got recommended to me, and here I am watching it. Also, if you want to subscribe, definitely do that. Hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. And if you want to leave a comment, I would love to hear from you. Also, if you have a prayer request, you can put that in the comments. And really, my last reading, who did I read for? Cancer. I asked them about their driving force in life. What are the things that drive you in your life, right? Why do you get up out of bed in the morning? Why do you keep telling yourself, like, we're not stopping here, we're going to keep going? What is it? What is the thing? What are the things? What is your reason for being here? I mean the greater here, right? I don't know. I'm nosy. That's the biggest thing. But two, I'm just really interested in like what really keeps you going. For me, some of it is fear. Just to be real with you. Fear, anxieties. Part of it is seeking some kind of pleasure, an impression that feels novel and, overwhelming, and I can just be enthralled with it. And then there's the other part where I'm looking for my virtues. Yeah, my virtues. That's what I call it, my original virtues. I am here to figure out what are those original things. They don't even have words. You can't even begin to utter them. What are those things that we come from? So anyways, if you want to put, the meaning of the world in the comments, go ahead. Now, we're going to get started. All right, so first of all, we have a person up here. You can see here is the head. Here's the upper body, the lower leg. Now, it also looks like a capital E. It kind of looks like it says E-L-R or E-R. Now, these could be initials. That's what I'm thinking, their initials. Okay, so we have that person. Now, they are planting flowers. Look at that. They have this one, little sprouts. Okay, so we have a gardener. We have somebody who is a life bringer, a life sustainer, right? Somebody who is really interested in being part of the process of the intricately woven world in which they belong, right? Very, very acutely aware of the movement of things, cycle of things, pattern of things, able to anticipate both through learning and experience, and somebody who has a deep, deep care. And that's the biggest thing. There is a deep care, deep empathy. And I know this is you, Gemini. I know it's you, because nobody loves as deeply as you do. I would say nobody hates as deeply as you do either, but maybe a Scorpio. You guys might really you might have a little bit of a battle there. And so we have this person. I'm guessing it is you. It feels like you. Below it we have, it looks like it says something like lollipop right down here. It looks like L-O-P-O-P, low pop. So something like a lollipop maybe. We have the Ace of Cups, and over here we have Eros. Okay, so that is that naughty, excuse me, Eros, Cupid. Okay, love. Also, I mean, I'm not going to go super into the story of Eros and Psyche, but also kind of not a good dude, by the way. By the way, yet another abduction, right? And then we have this person down here. You can see they have an hourglass and a heart. We also, you know what, I'm looking at this here. It does look like it says L-A-C? L-A-C. If those are letters that are important to you. And this person watching this grow with a heart. So I do feel, and look at the bird, and then it's got a little doo-doo coming out of it. All right. That's good luck if it hits you. I remember in never mind, I'm not gonna let me take you down my memory lane of birds defecating on me. So we have an admirer, somebody who admires you greatly. I mean, this is a person who maybe even verges on not stalkerish, but kind of almost get the ick because they are so attentive and they notice so much about you that it almost feels oppressive maybe, or weird, just kind of weird. But I think that this person just really is so in awe of you, in all of your glory, in all of your greatness. And I think the biggest thing is that they're very drawn to the way that you arrange your life, the way that it looks aesthetically, the things that you are into, the way that you carry yourself, you speak, where you hold your attention, how you interact with others. There just seems to be this complete beautiful, just the essence, right? Like from bottom to top, right? I just feel that this person looks at you as if you were like an angelic being. And I think for you, being the Gemini that you are, this feels nice, but it also is not the whole picture, right? This is like, and we've all had these moments in our lives, or at least some of us have, I guess probably most of us, where we meet somebody and they kind of idealize who we are based on how they perceive us or want to perceive us, right? And this happens to everybody. I mean, it really does. I say some of it. No, I think all of us, obviously, because people are going to perceive us how they do. Okay? It's not about us so much as themselves, of course. But I feel like this person finds in you something deeply moving. I mean, this isn't like I have a crush on you. This isn't like I'm in love with you. This isn't even just like I want to marry you. I want to spend my life with you. No, this is like you are exalted. Have you ever met like a couple where they really do treat each other like king and queen, or they really do feel like they are divinely chosen for one another. They feel that each other is some kind of, magical being, like an angel that was put in their life. If you've ever met a couple that actually kind of exists in that realm, it is not just the put on, right? Really, they're immersed in it. It is something that feels almost like you're witnessing art. I guess that's what I would maybe relate it to, like art. And to be within a dynamic with somebody where you do have that spiritual and magical connection, it's so powerful. I mean, it's just, it could move it could move the whole landscape. It could change everything, reshape the hills, So I feel like for you, there seems to be this real emphasis in your life on building things up, right? Getting that material world stuff really in order, the way that you want it, the way that you have envisioned it. I feel that you are somebody who is very dedicated to those that you allow close to you. You are not somebody who gives up on people. You are not somebody who, just kind of goes along to get along, or, just hopes for the best and sees what happens. No, you are very much in there, very present in the lives of the people that you call family, that you call your friends, that are beloved to you. And so when you find yourself in this entanglement, in this love story that you have going, I feel that there's a power building in you that is beyond anything else. And it's not just about the romance of it, because that's like, yeah, that's wonderful. It's a lot of us, if you are a woman, right? If you at least, and it's not even about a woman being a woman. I feel like women are usually from a young age conditioned towards romance, and particularly in this modern era, the love story, the romantic story, the placing this thing on a high altar. We're conditioned towards it. What can you say? But I feel like this is like, it's not even the key. It's just the scent in the air, right? That really gets you into the mindset of love. It returns you back to a place of love. And romantic love, yes, it is wonderful, and it is fun, and it is quite a journey to court and couple with somebody, right? But this flows over into the other parts of your life, your being, the tree of life. If you think of all of the aspects of your life as a sphere, or different spheres, right, on the tree of life, this is flowing through, right? Flowing from the bottom up, right? So I do feel like there is a balance that is being restored in your life, and there is a power rising in you, okay? And it's not because of somebody else. It's because you are in your truth. You are doing what you know you are here for, right? And I think that has a lot to do with, earthly things right now, but family, legacy, building something lasting, okay? And I feel that, not only is that really actually kind of going better than expected, there just seems to be this community, this sense of, you are in your higher form. You are literally just, exuding this beautiful vibe, and you're drawing people in, and I think you are. Suddenly there's like new people in your life, but I feel that there's, a sense of at least the hint of wanting to trust, to let somebody into your world. Will that happen? I don't know. But I think that you are at least considering, right? You're considering. So not only is there just this onslaught of romantic love, but there's also friendship. And there is family love, and there's agape, and that's really the biggest thing, and that's what I'm headed towards here, is that there is this rekindling of your connection to the divine, okay? So through this restoration of romantic love, or this beginning of, intense romantic love, you are really finding your connection with the divine, God, goddess, the cosmos, whatever it is. I know somebody on here has said a couple times in the comments they're married to Three-Eye Atlas. I mean, maybe that's it, right? Love is manifesting all over the place, right? So we also have over here, we have the Magician. You can see sorcerer, magician, that energy. And we have Y-O-U, you. So we have the world builder. We have the birds. We have another bird right here. This one, this one. So a lot of messages. We have the dolphin. So we have an intense psychic period coming up here. And somebody in your life, it seems, is having maybe... Oh, the letter E again. Look at that. Right there. Heart and then the letter E. So I feel that there's somebody in your life who it seems is maybe having like some financial issues. We have the pig and the deer. We have the pig head here, and we have the deer right in here, sitting. So I almost kind of feel like there's a person in your life who's having financial issues, and I feel like there's almost a sense of them really like almost like in a desperate move, right? Doing something that you wouldn't consider maybe ethical, okay? And I do feel like this causes a lot of static, not only in your life, but collectively among the people that you know. I feel like this is something that you do not want to get involved in, but I don't know that you have a choice, okay? I feel like talking about the money stuff is really uncomfortable for you. And so, like, for something like this to happen where you have to, like, get involved in somebody's private stuff, period, I think that is almost worse than, you know, having to be involved in this at all. Like, the point that really bothers you is not what's going on so much as that you have to be drawn into it. I do feel like you are kind of being called upon because you're the voice of reason in a lot of ways. And I do feel like there's almost this sense of, I don't know, almost kind of like, okay, so I'm not in recovery in the way that I used to be, but I used to be like super involved in 12 steps, like 12-step stuff. And I fully recommend it if you are just starting out, trying to be abstinent from whatever. It doesn't matter what it is, whatever your thing is. If it's a chemical or plant or, you know, love or whatever. So there often like is a point where something's gonna, you know, something happens, right, with somebody, and then suddenly you start to realize, like, okay, now I see something is super not going right here, and you start to look back on behaviors, and you're like, okay, I can see there's something going, you know, maybe a deeper problem, or maybe whatever, mental health stuff, depression, you know, addiction, who knows, they're in crisis for some reason, whatever it is. So I feel like that's kind of the thing, is like all of a sudden you're seeing somebody in a different way. Not that you're judging them or you're mad or whatever, but suddenly it's like, okay, now this person feels different to me now, because I'm seeing that there's this whole part of them that I didn't even pick up on. You know what I mean? And that can be kind of like off-putting a little bit. I do feel like, though, you are somebody who will kind of pump the brakes on being like, not for me, I'm out of here. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you're willing to kind of at least, you know, step back slowly, but watch what's happening, you know, and maybe lend a hand, maybe not, you know, but I feel like for you, seeing this kind of go down within your personal life with somebody who you know and care about, and then being like acutely aware of, you know, this is going to change the dynamic of things, and how can I help and what can I do? And so I do feel like this is kind of a little bit of an eye-opener. It's something that helps ground you, because it really is like these abrupt moments where like there is no way to get around it. Like something is wrong, and that is very clear, right? So I do feel like this is, you know, not your, what do they say, not your circus, not your monkeys, but it is a place where you're checking in with yourself, Okay. And I also do think that you are going to be available to this person because you do care about them. Okay. But it is rough. It's rough when somebody is, I mean, basically free falling. They're making bad choices. They're hurting people or, hurting themselves or whatever. And you can't fix anybody. We can't fix people. We can't save them, and they cannot save us, and they cannot fix us. So, it's not easy. You want to get in there and just say, hey, look, buddy, I see from the outside here what's going on, and I can fix that for you, but you're going to have to, and their ears turn off. I know mine do when people are trying to tell me what to do. But I do think that, you do find yourself being there for them. Now, is this easy for you? No. But I do see you really relying on that, dear energy, which is a spiritual, sacred connection to the divine. Okay? So get in your spirituality, because I think that's going to be the big helper here. Okay, so we have a pew pew right here. We have 707. TAZ. TAZ. We have a person sitting right here and a heart above. So it does feel to me like there's almost kind of like a sense of something coming up in your life where you're kind of like, oh yes, this is going to be like luck. Absolutely 100% going to, win this thing. I feel that there's no way, there's no margin for error. Everything is perfect. It's locked in 100%. And then it doesn't happen, right? It's like, you think I nailed that interview. I got the job. And you start telling people, oh yeah, I got the job. And then you don't. And it's happened to the best of us, right? So I do feel like there's a sense of like a little bit of a blow, right? A little bit of a letdown, but you recover quickly. You absolutely do. I do feel that there's a sense of, I don't know, maybe feeling like seeing somebody kind of have this ordeal in their life, and then you yourself have this like kind of little snafu, and it's almost kind of the sense of really needing to protect yourself, and so I think for at least a day or two, I could just feel a sense of going into self. Having like a nice couch rot day. Just turning off everything. Nobody's getting a hold of you. Just focusing on rest and kind of gathering yourself and, getting restored and ready for the next cycle of stuff. And I do. And I think that, ultimately, it's sometimes it feels like it's just more of the same, but it's not. It's not. It feels like there's incremental growth happening. Because where maybe 2 or 3 years ago, you probably would have like just crashed out. You would have said the thing that you shouldn't say, or you feel something, and this is me, I'm using my own examples here. You feel something and that it is rooted in some old stuff that has nothing to do with what's going on right now, but you still let yourself go there, and then you spend like the next day or two feeling bad and terrible that you've like backslid into old behaviors. And this is me like taking accountability for my bad mood at the end of yesterday. In my defense, right? I am 40 years old and I do get up before 5 a.m. And we haven't been home before 8 p.m. for like 4 days straight. And so I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. But also, I have to say, I was a little bit of a brat last night. So, babe, if you're editing this, I am sorry for being a bit of a brat last night. I love you. But yeah, and I have already apologized to him this morning. I'm like that person. I'm like, oh, it's time to get up. Here's your coffee. Also, sorry about last night. Gotta get it done. Like, I don't like the unsaid, just lingering too long. But yeah, anyways, so it just, to me, it feels like, if you are not like 100% hitting the mark and you're like, I did this perfectly, I went to the therapy, I learned the tools, I did the tools, I implemented them, everything worked out perfect, I did it, 10 out of 10, right? But sometimes it doesn't look like that. Sometimes we do like 1/3 of the tool and we get 1/3 of the, okay, this is 1/3 less bad than it was last time something like this happened, and we can look at that and say, I'm messing up, making bad decisions, not getting anywhere, spinning my wheels. But the reality is first of all, the fact that you even care to think about where you need to like work harder on things is a gold star, because a lot of people out here aren't thinking about anything at all. I don't know. Maybe they're thinking about what they're going to have for dinner or whatever. I know that's my favorite thing to think about. But, other than that, there are a lot of people in the world that will never think about like, oh, I should have maybe parented a little differently, or I should have maybe been a little more kind in that exchange, or, whatever. Okay. But I feel like for you, Gemini, you are making this amazing thing happen within self, and it is flowing into your life. And you know what? Sometimes it's going to look messy, because that's what it is. Go outside and look at the world around you. Are things perfect? No, they're not. They might feel like it because it's really pretty out right now. Here it's all colors and stuff. But you know what? If you go look at those leaves, you're going to see all kinds of little blemishes, places where they like ripped and then grew back together, or there's like moth things growing on them, or, whatever. It's not perfect, but it works, and it is beautiful, right? So, your homework here, Gemini, is I want you to think of like 3 things every day for the next week that like you're proud of yourself for. 3 things every single day. It doesn't have to be what you did that day, but that would be even better. That's like AP level. If you can think of 3 things you did that day that you are proud of yourself for, yes. So please do that, because I promise you it helps shift the way that we are looking at our lives. Instead of looking for, what did I do wrong today? Endless. In my head, I'm thinking of, like the old fax machine or the old word processor things where they had the paper with the little dots on the side, and yeah, that sound is going, all of the things I did wrong today. No, get out of here. 3 things that you are proud of yourself for. Okay? All right. Well, let's go ahead. We're going to do our lucky numbers. Our lucky numbers. Our lucky numbers. 52. Number 52. 84. Number 84. Ah. Come on now. 4. Beautiful. All right. Well, Gemini, I love you. Thank you for being here. It is always such a pleasure for me. If you want to like, subscribe, or leave a comment, I'd love to hear from you. Other than that, take care of yourself. We'll talk later. Good night.